If you and your partner keep having the same argument about the dishes, money, intimacy, who remembers what? I want you to know something. You're not fighting about the dishes. You are never fighting about the dishes. I'm Sharon, a postgraduate therapist specializing in relationship and sex therapy, working under clinical supervision as I complete my postgraduate hours towards licensure as a licensed marriage and family therapist and a licensed professional counselor in Georgia. And I'm also an ASEC sex therapy certification trainee. All of that was a mouthful. Today, we're going to talk about why couples get stuck in recurring conflict and, more importantly, what's actually happening underneath. So, the real reason conflicts repeat: every recurring fight has a surface topic: chores, finances, sex, parenting. But underneath that, the topic is an emotional need that is not getting met. When that need goes unspoken or unheard, it doesn't go away. It comes back, and it comes back louder, more frustrated, and more entrenched. Researchers, John and Julie Gottman, side note, if you haven't heard of their book, The Seven Principles for Making Marriage Work, get it. This is a very simplified way to talk about relationships, what goes wrong, and how we keep having these ongoing arguments or recurring arguments and conflict, but it doesn't mean that things can't work out in a relationship. Back on point. So, researchers John and Julie Gottman found that roughly 69% of relationship conflict is perpetual, meaning that it never fully gets resolved. But that's not a failure. That's just the nature of two different people sharing a life. The goal isn't to win the argument. The goal is to understand what you and your partner are actually asking for. So, here's what the cycle usually looks like underneath the fight. Partner A. They feel something. They may feel unimportant. They may feel dismissed. They may be lonely. And so they bring it up, and maybe not always in a clean way, especially if it's built up and if they may already be frustrated. And then partner B, they hear the criticism. They hear pressure. They hear nagging. And they may get defensive or pull away from partner A. So partner A feels even more dismissed, and the fight escalates. And then it ends. But the need is still there. So the fight comes back, and the next week or on the next occurrence with a different trigger and the same emotional charge. This is called a negative interaction cycle or a negative feedback loop, and it shows up in almost every couple that I have ever worked with. It's not about your relationship being broken, it's about the cycle being in charge of you instead of you being in charge of the relationship dynamics. So here are just 3 steps of what you can do instead. Step 1: slow down. When you feel the familiar heat of a recurring fight starting, just pause, even if it's only for 10 seconds. Take a deep breath. Step 2: get curious. Ask yourself, not your partner, ask yourself, what am I actually feeling right now? Not what I'm angry about, but what am I afraid of? What do I need? For example. And then step 3: say the vulnerable thing instead of the reactive thing. That might look like, instead of you saying, "You never listen to me," try saying something like, "I feel invisible right now, and I need to know that you care." So there's an example of I statements that you use to kind of put the focus on you, to take away emphasis of making it seem like you're pointing the finger at your partner as if they can't do anything right. So let them know how you feel, how their behavior or lack of action may be causing you to respond versus attacking them for something they did or didn't do based on your standards. So that is a completely different conversation once you switch it from "you never do this" to "I feel like this and I need to know you care." So it gives your partner something to actually respond to. And so recurring fights are not proof that your relationship is doomed. They're often a sign that something important has not been said yet. If this resonates with you and you're wondering whether you and your partner are ready to do this kind of deeper work together, I'd love to have you check in with me, do a free consultation. If you're in the state of Georgia for therapy, you can be located anywhere if you're interested in coaching. And I'm actually building out a 90-day program for couples to help them move from conflict into clarity. And so you'll find my links below. Please subscribe for more honest, practical relationship content, and I will see you in the next video.